Pause it. Okay. I think you guys can hear us now. There's a little bit of a delay, so we're not totally sure.
Okay.
But if you can give us a thumbs up. Yay! Okay,
Yay!
now we see you now.
So QVC time. This is the vibrantly intelligent Tim Kim.
Whoa, what an intro.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal it. This is the vibrantly intelligent Madeline Palmiano. I've never said your last name before. Is that how you say it?
You pronounced it spot on.
Really?
That's eerie.
Awesome.
Nobody gets it
I'm proud of
right.
myself.
And usually Madeline the Flamingo. Should wear paint. All right. So today we're going to bake some thick as a Game of Thrones plot brownies and some scrumptious half-baked puns.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. That's just my premature April Fool's joke because I won't be here tomorrow.
You gotta get it in somehow. It's April 1st somewhere, right?
Yeah. That makes me feel like I'm in the know and relevant. But speaking of scheduling, we will have one bonus episode at the start of the series, and tomorrow, and one bonus episode at the end of the series. So, yay, bonuses!
Yeah. Usually Madeline will be hosting on Thursdays, probably at 3 p.m. Pacific time this time, but conversations are happening. We might shift some of those times, right?
Yeah, to accommodate everybody here with their various time zones.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, keep it posted. So did you want to tell them about virtual write-ins?
Yes. So I know a lot of you guys, I see some familiar faces in the chat, but if you've never been to a virtual write-in before, basically we're going to spend an hour helping you to really focus in on your writing. And the way that we do that is by running word sprints, and then also giving you the opportunity to share some of your writing, to talk in the chat, ask any questions that you have. So today we're going to be going for about an hour.
Yes.
And depending on where you are in the world, some of you have already started writing your novels. You're in the future.
So lucky.
Please tell us what happened. But some of you have not. And so you're still kind of pre-writing. And so Madeline has done an awesome job of crafting some prompts, hopefully that will work for both of y'all.
Inclusivity, that's what NaNoWrimo is all about.
Also, the prompts are totally optional.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, we will reiterate that ad infinitum.
If you hate the prompts,
Mm,
don't tell us because it'll hurt our feelings.
I can take it for troubleshooting purposes.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. I'm thin-skinned, guys.
Sensitive artist type.
But Madeline, do you want to tell them what kind of a word sprint is exactly?
Yeah. So word sprints are timed writing exercises with a set amount of time to write as much as possible. Squeeze out everything you can. And then tell us your word count. We invite you to share whatever you come up with. And by the way, it's all totally optional. No arm twisting here. Totally supportive environment. We're just eager to know what you came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The writing part isn't optional. Well,
no.
You should.
No,
you should probably be writing.
About writing at NaNoWrimo.
Awesome. Well, so Madeline has come up with some awesome prompts, like I said before. You'll also be able to kind of see them in the video description below if you want to check that. But I'm going to go let her do her thing.
All right.
And I'm actually hosting that bonus virtual writing we talked about tomorrow. So that's.
And I'll be watching that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Nervous. But that's tomorrow, Friday. We're doing that one at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so an hour earlier than this one. So check that out. You can also see that on our YouTube page if you go there. Hopefully I'll see some of you there.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Madden kill this virtual writing. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck.
I have at least somebody keeping me company here. Okay, so the theme is world building. If you were one of our early birds on the chat, you might have heard me whispering about that. And so I just wanted to say that we have some objectives here who we're trying to target, which is everybody, but it's intended for laid-back recreational writers who may be interested in creating a new tale based off of a story arc prototype, plus fiction and nonfiction writers who seek to enhance their works by immersing their readers in a world. Even your hometown can seem fantastical and whimsical with a fresh perspective. And so a lot of people think that I am not interested in nonfiction because I chose world building, but I actually think that world building can greatly enhance nonfiction and paint a picture that you might have not ordinarily thought of before. And at some point when I talk about world building, you might exclaim, what's the deal with sidekicks and quests? As you might notice, our series is roughly based on a traditional hero's journey, with a mashup of superhero films, video games, and whatever strikes our fancy at the time. Basically, I think world building can provide a space for characterization. Nonfiction readers and writers can reflect on how to make people or subjects they feature characters and their goals and challenges quests. So just let us know what you think and if it's working. And, I know there's some college students out there as well, so you might ask, how can this fit into a thesis or a dissertation? Yes, I am thinking about everybody here. You might be working on an assignment. You might be involved in serious business. You might be an astrophysicist who just happens to be a member of NaNoWrimo, because we love everybody here. I think these exercises can inject life into more restrained and serious projects, because we're all about fun here at NaNoWrimo. And then finally, you might exclaim in exacerbation, there aren't people or places in my work. And that's okay. World building can still help you nail down the tone and the thrust of your piece. If you're trying to reach out to an audience, you might want to work with tone and theme to identify what would appeal to your readers. So I'm just going to let you know a little bit about myself. I'm sorry for rambling a bit. It won't be like this in the other episodes. We're still getting to know each other. I'm a recovering role player, full disclosure. Yeah, but not really. If I had the time, I would be doing it all the time. So I couldn't resist the opportunity to sneak world building into the virtual write-ins. I think I feel the nostalgia sinking in already. We haven't even started with the prompts yet. But this isn't all about me. I had all you lovely writers in mind. I want to see how we can jump into the world of your work. So part 1, world building warm-up. And we're going to start with a passage from the beloved Harry Potter, see it glinting here, to get the cogs whirling, twirling, circulating in that writerly brain of yours. And this will be about Diagon Alley. Welcome, said Hagrid, to Diagon Alley. He grinned at Harry's amazement. They stepped through the archway. Harry looked over his shoulder and saw the archway shrink instantly back into solid wall. The sun shone brightly on a stack of cauldrons outside the nearest shop. Cauldrons, all sizes, copper, brass, pewter, silver, self-stirring, collapsible, said a sign hanging over them. So, the first prompt in that spirit will be, describe a tucked away store, think Diagon Alley, that exists right under everyone's nose. This is partly Harry Potter inspired and partly sparked from my life as a pedestrian. I take a lot of strolls where I notice stores that others might miss whirling by in their cars. There's so much to admire on the way to the office of light and leathers. And, we have an alternate prompt for each writing sprint. You know, if you're not vibing with the world building theme, you just aren't feeling it, you can toss something new into the cauldron of prompts. Take something out, topple it over, and do your own thing. I'm totally okay with that. But here is the alternate. What is the so what of your work? What are you noticing that no one else is? And a passage, very short, to get you inspired. The writer's motivation. So what? What is the author's purpose and motivation? What catalyst prompted her to write? Why is this an important topic? What are the larger consequences and implications for the audience? So those are our 2 prompts. Again, they are world building. Describe a tucked away store, think Diagon Alley, that exists right under everyone's nose. Or the alternate, what is the so what of your work? What are you noticing that no one else is? We will have 6 minutes. Just get the timer on. All right, 6 minutes, starting now. Jenny. I'm sorry. All right, 1 minute. All right, that is the end of that sprint. I wrote about a hole-in-the-wall cinema with video booths where you can see reels of your past lives. And apparently I made a lot of people hungry with this prompt. I'm sorry for that. I think there might be other food-related prompts, and so yes, I just apologize profusely for that. Okay, so coming up, our next prompt is, yeah, oh wow, awesome word counts, 327, 266 from Bryce. Wow, you guys are awesome. I'm loving seeing this whole, oh, 59 is still awesome. It's great. Ooh, here's Pamela. From the outside, the shop looked derelict. Windows boarded up, covered with fly posters. Takeaway menus crammed. I can't get to the rest of it. Crammed into a letter slot, threatening to explode upon whoever dared to check the post. That's great, Pamela. I could see all of that. So our next prompt is, what is your character's favorite food? Why? Does it remind them of something? This was Tim's suggestion. I was getting so carried away by my flights of fancy and used way too many references to villages, which is so medieval. This is a small detail, but it can open up a window of opportunity to know more about your world. What's available to eat? Your character could be as decadent as Marie Antoinette with her bonbons, or could be a fan of more humble fare. And our alternate is, what is your favorite part of what you are or will be writing? What sparked this project? I ask this because I'm interested in getting to know all of you. If you feel comfortable, I would love to hear what subject fascinates you and awakens your creativity. This is a bite-sized origin story. Our favorite subjects are often a huge part of who we are. Reflecting on this can also give you more morale and more direction as you delve more seriously into your work. You might say, finally, I know why I'm putting myself through all of this. And so those prompts are, what is your character's favorite food? Why? Does it remind them of something? Or for those people who do not want anything food related, what is your favorite part of what you are or will be writing? What sparked this project? So we will have 5 minutes for that prompt, starting now. Sorry. You guys. Okay, we have 1 minute left. Okay, I will actually wait maybe 5 seconds. Okay. I feel so bad. Maybe I thought people would have eaten before this, or maybe I'm just very inspired by food. It does get me going. Oh, that's awesome, Super Mommy 81. 811. The softness of the egg like a pillow. That is really interesting. And Zenith, the store in your mouth. That was gold. Like, they don't even need me here. They just need you with your very surreal descriptions. I wrote about popcorn with faux cheese powder because in my world, there's no more organic livestock. So there's no actual dairy products or anything animal related. I think that's it for food related prompts. I am sorry you had to endure that. 192 words. Thumbs up cannibalism. Okay. Lamb stew. That sounds nice, Brianna. Because that knife dwarf man had brought him a few rounds, and as he seemed to share the same temperament as Drog did, ale was always best. That was by Hannah Tuck. I love that. I have a soft spot for dwarves and ale and their general alcohol tolerance, especially in proportion to their height. That's great. Okay, so part 2. Get your facts straight. Lore. Lore, the bread and butter of world building. I'm the kind of girl that will snatch up every story encyclopedia and add-on I can get my hands on. I need to know more, everything. Designing your own lore can give you this wonderful feeling of control and mastery over your creations, because that doesn't sound like power tripping. Our first prompt is, what is one law that every decent person should abide by in your world? This can go a lot of ways. Decent can be very subjective, and neither you nor a protagonist has to agree with the way the world works. Dystopic stories can feature laws that the reader's horrified with. Stories like The Hunger Games and Divergent are good examples of worlds with stifling laws. In The Hunger Games, it was lawful for adolescents to be pitted against each other. And our alternate, because I think I saw with my peripheral vision that somebody was not feeling lore, what is the biggest point you are trying to make? What do you hope people will value when reading your work? Sometimes the writer is a crusader of justice who is trying to get the world to open their minds to a new perspective. What are you championing, if anything? And it could be nothing. Sometimes writing is just a fun romp to entertain you and your readers. The Hunger Games, Stephanie Brewer. Yes, it's what's hot right now. So those prompts are, okay, Yashnitzel, no food-related prompts past midnight. I'll write that down. Our prompts. What is one law that every decent person should abide by in your world? And, or, what is the biggest point you are trying to make? What do you hope people will value when reading your work? We will have 5.5 minutes. Okay. So I saw a lot of great comments. And what are those word counts, by the way? I'd love to see them. Here's Zenith again, cracking the jokes. Descent, unscented maybe. Sarah Haycock, my novel's point in a nutshell. People are free to make their own choices, but also free to be nasty. Please don't be nasty, and brainwashing is bad. You guys are doing great. 167. Alex Alameda, what is law? To create synchronicity between one's nature and the community of others. Shauna Vade, my novel takes place in a kingdom of witches and humans. The most abided by law is that humans and witches do not mix. That is completely up my alley. Totally want to read what you've got, Shauna. I hope you're running with that. I've always thought it's fascinating how non-magical folks and magical folks coexist or not in their world. And Elizabeth Salad, which touches on a point that I said before. I'm not trying to make a point. I'm just going to have fun in an alien, crazy town world. Yeah, sometimes we just want to let loose and go crazy. It's a totally valid reason to write, I think. Schnitzel, my law was that everyone must wear their underwear over their pants. So is it Superheroville? What's going on there? I don't know. But we are going to move along to our next prompts. What catastrophic event does every character with their head screwed on straight remember? It seems rare that there is a world where nothing goes wrong. With no conflict, there's no story. In video games, every NPC, non-player character, seems to rant about an event that scarred them and 6 other generations before them. Plagues are a common theme. This prompt can give you a sense of the history of your world and can be a fun exercise in timelines. You can punctuate your timeline with catastrophic or ecstatic events. And I'm going to read a passage from a wiki of the game I play, Forgotten Realms. I'm going to toss out some of the references, though, so I don't confuse or alienate anyone. The Wailing Death was a magical disease that ravaged the city of Neverwinter in 1372. Most of the citizens of the city were dead or dying within a 10-day of the first reported case. Neverwinter did not fully recover from the effects of the disease for an entire decade, and it left the city vulnerable to infiltration. And our alternate prompt, what is the greatest conflict that your work is hoping to tackle? Like mentioned before, conflict is the spice of storytelling. There are many minor or side dilemmas which you can choose to talk about. But what would you say is the crux of the problem in your work? Remembering the major conflict can help to see if you think you're on the right track. Do your events and scenes have a through line, or are they meandering elsewhere? And there's nothing wrong with that. It could just mean that you have another or a second story to tell. So those prompts are, what catastrophic event does every character with their head screwed on straight remember? Or what is the greatest conflict that your work is hoping to tackle? We will have, I'm going to say, 9 minutes. No, 8 minutes. Gonna make it harder on you. 8 minutes. We have 1 more minute. Okay. So I selected some of your responses as much as I can. You guys are rapid typists, eager beavers. I have a hard time keeping up with you, and you all have great responses. And so Alex Alameda said, oh, 345, Zenflower 54. That's a stunning accomplishment. And 357 from Silver Star Swept, 310 from Lot, 346 from Jenny Chen. Good job, everybody. Alex Alameda said, how can we get any writing done when all these responses are fun to read? 446, Hannah Tuck. But yes, Alex, I have to admit, I was really distracted from the chat and just compiling everybody's responses. I barely wrote at all. I wrote about a scourge on farms where all the livestock began to drop like flies. Alex Alameda also wrote, 567, Dark Summons. Alex Alameda wrote, in a world where yoga is practiced all over, any person could ascend into the light or dark void at any time without warning. Is it aliens, the Matrix, or something else altogether? That's really interesting. I can't imagine having a yoga session and then just being sucked up. That sounds like a whole new exercise. Gotta patent that. Shauna Vade, the law separating witches and humans exist because humans carry a virus that they are immune to, but deadly to the witches. I can see why there is a dilemma there. Cecile Arts. Amina grabbed Archer's arm. She had seen the rock rain events before. Starlings placed in ditches as others hurled more than just rocks at their head. The wealthy attended these punishments, wielding their heaviest objects, remaining forever loyal to the Red Queen and her beliefs. Wow. I hope I hear more about that Red Queen. Hannah Tuck, who is amazing at word counts, 281, celebrating winter's crest with her new friends, or was she doing the same, looking at the stars, thinking of Vox Machina as Grog was thinking of her? Perhaps? He would never know. Mary Payne. You have violet eyes, darling. You'll be killed if you don't cover them, please. I glared up at the woman from my seat on the ground. Then, my eyes shooting daggers, I pull my red hood over my face. I cannot talk right now because I am so wonderfully taken aback by how colorful and rich and lethal it sounds to have this pair of violet eyes. I'm almost done here. Just got to get all the responses that I compiled. Sarah Tilgner, catastrophic event, the enormous, unprecedented leap in technology that made the world, by all rights, perfect. But that's a dangerous term now, isn't it? Yeah, perfection can be very, very tricky. Niccolo, I have a revolution in my novel, which is more difficult to set up than I imagined. Well, our next episode is going to talk about social organization, so maybe that'll help. And then finally, Niccolo, again, I have this character who is the crown prince, and on his coronation day, gets told he isn't actually one and gets thrown out of his kingdom. LOL. That sounds like the most morbidly entertaining coronation ever. Oh, 1 more hour, Schnitzel. I wish. But that is the end of our show. And stay tuned for tomorrow with Tim, who is much more well-versed in these virtual write-ins than I am. Still getting used to the chat. Our topics will be As the World Turns, Festivals and Events, and Finding a Place, Social Organization. Thank you so much for participating in this pre-session of Camp NaNoWrimo. I hope it brings you, I know it will bring you a lot of noveling karma and make your journey and your endeavors more quick. Hopefully with all that preparation and outlining, it can only help, right? And the sprints are great for conditioning. So that's it. Math Faulty Lewis. I might read yours one day. It's nothing personal. I have a hard time keeping up. I'll calibrate a technique that's better than what I had today. So that's it. The next write-in is April 1st, which is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So now I have to stop this broadcast.